Hi, I'm here with my best bud, mi mejor amigo, and I love talking to you, as you know. So we're gonna chat.
Who
Um,
doesn't like talking to their best bud?
exactly, absolutely. So I wanted to first talk about something. So we had talked about time, and you said you had seen time as something that you fight against or you surrender to, but that view has shifted for you. So I want to hear how and why that shift has happened.
Well, I've realized that 3 days is a lifetime for a butterfly.
Incredible, right?
Yeah, whereas 30 years is probably uh, just a part of human life.
Yeah.
And 3 years could transform a puppy into a fully grown dog.
Yeah.
That and also the fact that I think time is a bunch of concentric circles.
Yeah.
I think we are moving according to our lifespan, the way we comprehend time, and then there is, a creature which is in a larger concentric circle.
Yeah.
Like you could consider maybe the butterfly or the centipede to be the dot in the center, and then you could go out radially outward, and extrapolating from that, you would find an entity which is at an infinite radius or diameter, who is observing all of this. And therefore, I'm led to believe that it's a total illusion. I mean, you can go to Mars and reverse age if you travel at the speed of light,
Right, right.
and and yet you're spinning on this ball, which is Earth,
Yeah,
around the sun at a certain, at considerable speed, actually,
yeah.
if I may say, and yeah, somewhere in the middle of it, there's this currency of time. I remember this movie I watched where time is a currency, and
Right,
if you wanted to buy like a bottle of water, you would get this little digital meter with your lifespan coming down by a few minutes or whatever.
right. Like time could be like a geographic space you walk through, like a door you walk in and
Exactly.
out of, right?
And in the world of quantum physics or quantum science, you could actually sell a bottle of water and live longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Schrodinger's cat,
Yes,
who's either dead or alive or both.
depending
Yeah.
on the context, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, before you ask that
Yeah.
question, this is not really best buddy talk.
It's not?
We talk about this stuff, but we won't talk about the other stuff we talk about.
I mean,
That's not for Instagram or
oh, yeah.
YouTube.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Continue.
Okay. So, I recently was looking at the Vera Rubin Observatory that's open in Chile, right? And you get to see incredible images of the cosmos that we could never see before, right? One of the things that was very interesting for me was that a lot of objects in the universe and a lot of phenomena that happens in the universe reflect us physically on the cellular level, atomic level, as well as our emotions, right? So one of the things that I saw was a lot of hot bodies that emit light are the ones that shine. Yet there are other forces like dark matter and dark energy in the universe that we cannot see or fathom, but that physicists say exist that have equal importance. So, what is this thing about need to shine when you transport and translate it to our experience? And is do we need to shine? And if not, what is the other that's there for us?
Right. Well, I've been in the US now for about 2 months. I've seen a lot of hot bodies that emit light. And then there's people like me who are like dark
No,
matter, who you can't see or fathom or comprehend. And I think both are so important in the universe. No, I mean, jokes apart, I think I would like to take the analogy of a musical note
yeah,
vis-a-vis silence. The analogy of the part of a painting that is brightly lit,
yeah,
and the corner which is like a what's the word, vignette,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
which is kind of in the shadows, so to speak, like um, those bright moments in history
yeah,
where things are on the rise compared to the Great Depression,
yeah,
or compared to uh, sadder, darker moments.
right,
And I think both of those things or those elements, it's like the yin and yang.
Yeah, yeah.
And in terms of, just in terms of the need to shine,
Yeah.
or the constant need to
Yeah.
shine, which is what happens to you guys on Instagram,
Yeah.
is it takes away your darker moments.
Right.
It takes away your shadows.
Yeah.
Your light has no meaning without the shadows.
Right.
Your constant shining is meaningless
Yeah.
without your quieter, darker moments,
Yeah.
which make you who you are.
No, I love that. I'm going to ask you another question. So recently, my daughter was graduating from middle school at the Brearley School, and the head of school is retiring. So when you retire, you have a portrait painted of you. And she was talking about how when she had her portrait painted, instead of giving a photo of herself, which is the norm to do, she actually sat for the whole process of the painting, because she said she wanted to be part of the artistic process. She said the audience's immersion in the artistic process is just as important as the artist rendering their art. How do you feel about the audience, and how should they perceive your art, and how would you want the audience to perceive your art?
I think art is created in the moment when the artist has a very primal need
Yeah,
to express something
yeah,
or recreate something.
yeah,
And the audience feels compelled to receive it.
yeah,
In other words, there is so much potency in the thought of the artist that they can actually take the audience on their trip. And it is a beautiful moment in time, that one moment
yeah,
when it is put out there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And yet it's frozen in time.
yeah,
Okay? Even if it is a person talking to AI
yeah,
and asking it to create a certain landscape,
yeah,
or maybe create a certain harmonic arrangement in the
Yes,
case of
yes.
music, in the moment when the person is giving the command to the machine,
yeah,
is when art is created. And when art is dispensed,
yeah,
either by a human being or a machine, I bring the whole AI thing into it because I don't think, I'm not one of those people who want to live in denial
yeah,
and say that, gone are the days when good art. I think good
Yeah.
art is going to continue to be created,
yeah,
and by man and by
Yeah.
machine, and by man and machine together, and we'll find ways of finding a balance, so that we have so far. I
Yeah.
mean, we went from LPs to
Yeah.
cassettes to
Yeah,
CDs,
yeah.
and yet we found a good way of, using art and technology together.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, is as long as you are cognizant of the fact
Yeah.
that it's that moment,
Yeah.
and you are willing to wait for the magic of that moment,
Right, right.
you'll find the experience of great art.
Yeah, yeah. No, sounds good. I'll ask you another question. So, when Beethoven composed his last symphony, the ninth one, which was his tour de force, and when it first had its debut, he had lost its hearing completely. But they say that he, in his mind, could hear the whole thing, just feeling the vibrations of the music. Do you think that as a musician, is that possible to really hear your music just in your head without having the sensory hearing? Because I feel that's not being a musician, that's important for me to experience the music. But what do you think as a musician?
I think the entire universe is a simulation. As long as you're tuned in
Yeah,
to the right frequencies,
Yeah.
Metaphorically speaking, you can simulate an entire universe within.
yeah,
And this is not a physical space.
Right,
This is a
right.
metaphysical
Yeah.
space. You can simulate your. So Beethoven, being the great composer that he
Yeah.
was, Beethoven having had years of feeling music the
Yeah.
way he could. I'm sure he could just put his ears to the ground,
Yeah.
and as much as when he was hearing the vibration of the cello or the viola,
Yeah.
he was really actually going beyond just hearing the music. He was visualizing patterns, and he was able to see an entire divine design,
Yeah.
as it were. And that's how musicians conjure up, or that's how artists conjure up. Look, I watched this film called 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen it. It's an iconic
Yes,
film.
yes.
And the universe that that film conjured up is part of that is reality. Or Star Trek.
Right.
Those of us who,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I remember I was a big fan of the communicators. They would pull up, and then there were cell phones which did that.
Yeah.
We grew up thinking that, you know, video calls were a thing of movies.
Yeah.
And here we are
Yeah.
on our iPhones.
I know.
Or, you know, whichever other phone.
Now
or
we
our
have even
Androids.
glasses that could translate for us.
You know, I love that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
Vision Pro.
Exactly.
And so, what is the universe if not a construct of our mind?
Right, right. So we're gonna play a little martial arts. So Taichi, it's a
Okay.
beautiful art form where you take when someone's attacking you, you don't fight back. You allow it to come to you, and then you use that momentum and that force to then deflect. I think you're a Tai Chi master in the mind, right?
Okay.
So tell me if you may remember anything in music or while you're playing where you've had a Tai Chi moment. For instance, I remember
All the time.
all the time. Yeah.
All the time.
So tell us
Well,
one.
I mean,
yeah.
I've played with the great master, Ustad Zakir Hussain, and I think when he was doing his Tai Chi move on me,
Yeah.
I was completely powerless and unable to think of anything but to
allow it to.
allow it to come, bring it on,
yeah.
and maybe allow some of that momentum to put something out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the same way, when I was playing with Jordan Rudess,
Yeah.
or when I was playing with Mark Lethierry, or with Snarky Puppy, or Herbie Hancock's ensemble, or Diane Reeves, I think they have the power to render you
Yeah.
powerless.
Yes.
They can take away your power, and the more you resist it,
Yeah. The more it just goes away.
the more powerless you are.
Yeah.
So if you let it sweep over your entire body for that fraction of a second,
Yeah.
maybe in the moment just afterwards,
Yeah.
you're gonna use some of the same energy to put
Yeah.
something back out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's, I guess, I mean, you've put it so beautifully. We're all,
We become powerful in becoming powerless, right?
So essentially, we're all enjoying our Tai Chi moments.
yes, we
Yeah.
are. We are.
Yeah, powerful and becoming powerless.
Yes.
Exactly.
So now we're gonna get to a favorite subject, love.
Oh.
Yeah, but let's meander into love, right? So I love Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who was a Supreme Court justice. She, had her career, sort of the fame in her career came from her gender discrimination work. She used the tax code that discriminated against a man to turn it on its head and then have it apply to women and other, marginalized people, basically. And she used the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment. So I guess what I'm saying is equality is such a big component of life here. We hear it all the time. How do you see equality in love?
What equality? There is no equality.
No?
Women are better than men on all possible frontiers and all possible counts.
Oh, wow.
I concede defeat.
Ooh,
Very,
so you're
very
saying that
happily to women.
I'm
I think we're inferior creatures, period. But
Yeah.
on the subject of love, it's interesting that most of the art that is born out of that very, very commonly used emotion.
Yeah.
It's one of the emotions that have been milked to the maximum
Yeah.
to create art.
Yeah.
And yet we don't seem to be able to derive any art from the positive,
Yeah.
positive side of love.
Yeah.
We seem to derive the best possible art
Yeah.
from the loss of love,
Yeah.
or from the decline of love, or from unrequited love,
Yeah.
or from, the love that's that's beautiful and eternal is so boring.
Yeah.
Isn't
love
it?
is love is seen in its contrast and its negative, right? Where like
Yeah.
you have to contrast it with a negative space
I
that it
think
occupies.
it's like well, there's a saying in Hindi. You
Yeah.
know, I mean that's about marriage, not so much about
Yeah,
love. But
yeah.
they say Dilli ka laddu.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just a laddu. It's a
Yeah.
sweet. And interestingly, a laddu is also round, so you can look at it as a big zero.
Yeah.
So they say, "Jo khaya wo bhi pachtaya, jo nahi khaya wo
Yeah.
bhi pachtaya." So what that means is, if you partake,
Yeah.
you instantly regret. If you do not partake, you kind of regret. But I think with all things in life, it's better to partake and
Yeah.
regret.
Yeah, I agree. One other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Was it Mark Twain who said that 20 years from now you will more regret the things that you didn't do than
Yes.
the ones you did?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So love is one of those things we have to get into. The other thing I want to ask you is, as a mother of kids, one of the concerns I have is image upon image, right? They're bombarded with.
How many kids? Continue.
For instance, one of the things that a lot of museum curators are facing in Europe is
Right.
people, wanting to just share instead of being in the moment, experiencing for the experience itself. Like at the Uffizi Gallery,
Right.
someone took a photo behind a, very old painting, now it's damaged, breaking a Swarovski-studded chair. So I guess what I'm saying is, behind the image, there is something very substantive. But in this world of simply wanting to share and wanting an overload of images, how do we get behind it? How do we show the next generation that there is an art, there's talent, there's hard work, that's far more important than the selling of images or just sharing of things. It's not just about sharing, it's about experience.
So in answer to that question, I'm going to look straight in the camera and
Yeah.
ask you guys, what are you guys doing? Whatever happened to going and sitting and being patient enough to be transported into another world by good art? And whatever happened to the artist being ready to, fall flat and find themselves in their failures, and then find this one glorious moment where they could get a little glimpse of, divine art. What is in Urdu called tasir. Whatever happened to that? Why are you guys sitting for hours at home and doing take after take after take to put up a 1-minute reel on Instagram of your art? And then the audience, when they go to see you perform, they're busy shooting you for that 1 minute instead of just enjoying your art. Whatever happened to you guys? I mean, when I say you guys, I mean me too.
And
But-
me too.
Yeah, and it's
All of
just
us.
it's just and nothing against Instagram. Nothing. I mean, it's great
Yeah.
because it's a great platform for great art to be put out there, or YouTube for that
Yeah.
matter. I think we need to kind of establish some boundaries.
Yeah.
Not for others, just for ourselves.
Yeah.
Just to allow your mind to be sensitive to the moment and not go to the extent so as to desensitize yourselves, not to think that you want to freeze that moment with your cell phone. Do you think the cell phone is that powerful? Come on. You can freeze it in your heart. You can use your heart to freeze it, not your cell phone.
I love that. One last question. So I had heard a story about Houdini, the magician, where he's very famous, as
Houdini.
you know. Yeah. Yes. Or who done it?
Houdina.
Yes. There you go.
I think you're Houdina. That's a good name. I have a good name for you now.
Well, I'm gonna come to that. This is not the last question then.
Okay.
First thing about Houdini. So they said that there was a prison that they said nobody can break out of. All right, but Houdini said he can break out of it. So he took his, belt with all of his special tools and everything, and he was ready, and they put him in. And then, the first.
Sounds to me like you're talking about a bad marriage.
I love your witticisms because you have such wit that most people don't see. Do you know what I mean? And this is a prime example of that. And the wordplay, the puns and double entendres that you have.
And now more people will see
More
it.
people will see it.
Well, thank you.
Well, best bud, you know. So I guess so. Houdini started working the first hour. He was very confident. He's like, I'm gonna get it. Then 3 hours in, he's sweating and he's like, okay, I'm not. You know, it started to wear on him. After about 10 hours, he thought, I can't do it. Finally, the defeat had set into him. Do you know what I mean? And he was just like, I have to give up. And he leaned against the door through which he came in. And it just swung open. It was never locked, right? So I guess what I'm going to ask you is, what would you say to musicians out there who are struggling, who are frustrated, who feel like they're in a space that they just don't know how to unlock? How can they have that Houdini freedom moment?
You know, you may have stumbled upon something brilliant.
Yeah.
I would like to say this to all of you guys out there, is a lot of you are trying to be somebody you are not. And just like Houdini, you're trying to look at the entire room and trying to figure out who wants you to be what. But that part of you which can shine the best is actually the door behind you. You just, it's your own persona. You just need to push back and stand tall up to yourself and feel like you're comfortable under your own skin. Look, it took me all of maybe 45 years to feel somewhat comfortable with who I am,
Yeah.
with the person that Dina calls
My best
her
bud.
bud. So, take some years. There's no problem. You don't need to think that it's too late in your life to discover yourself. And this discovery, also let me tell you, this is not some, this not something that requires an extra sensory perception or requires you to sort of be on some deep meditative trip. This is just awareness at every moment of your life that this consciousness that is inside you is already wired with everything. It is fully loaded. It has got all the bells and whistles. You just have to fire them, the right one at the right time. So you already know what's the right thing to do, what's the right thing to say. Just don't stop yourself from saying it or doing it.
Yeah, true. I'm going to end on this. I love you as my best bud because your mind is just this incredible prism. There's so many perspectives, nuances.
I can see an incredible prism. You're wearing it. It's giving me a lot of light on my face.
But what I wanted to kind of show people is your ability to transport into so many different artistic spaces. And one of them is wordplay. So I had recently told you that I love the word mesmeric and mesmerize. And I wanted you to share what you said to me so that they can see your incredible ability to speak and to see words and to connect it to your music.
Am I going to be booked for motivational speeches after this? Am I going to?
No, you're going to be
I still want to be able to play my music.
No, you're going to be loved for your mind, just like, I want people to see that.
Well, Dina, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And I think there is a part of all of us which is very lovable and which is very brilliant.
Yeah.
There is brilliance within all of us, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And there is, even in the things that are simple, even in the things where you may think that, you're a very rudimentary person, you are actually brilliant. Because sometimes you will see that the most complex of minds marvel at the simplicity of thought, in the next person.
Yeah.
And there is something to, sort of be in awe of, to see the complexities of the brilliant mind. And there is something amazingly awesome in the simplicity of a mind that can keep things simple.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to tell you, as an extension to what I was saying in the
Yeah.
last thing that we talked about,
Yeah.
is just be who you are.
Yeah.
It's all brilliant.
Yeah. But tell us about Mesmeric and Mesmerize, why you like them and how it connects to music.
Well, I don't want to give away the name of my possible name
Oh,
of my next
ooh.
musical album.
Okay.
Guys, if anybody steals that, Dina's a lawyer here. You're in violation of Copyright Act.
Yes.
Whatever. Dina
Different
knows.
kinds of laws, but we're not there. So thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you, Dina.
I love talking to you. You're my best bud, and you guys now know why he's my best bud. Mind, thoughts, a mind that's incredibly adaptable. So please come and hear him.